You probably saw the DNC clown show, but I think the Democrats really missed the boat. They could have elected Young Turks host Rashad Richey to head the Democratic National Committee. After all, he has a lot of experience running Democratic elections. He served as a strategist for the Georgia DNC back in the day, although none of his campaigns were successful. Then he got into a DUI and a police chase. I'm not joking, and if you want to hear the hilarious details, go see my video here. But you can't deny his incredible political analysis and strategy. If only they had someone who knew how to whip Trump like the back of his hand. So when they asked Rashad how the year 2024 was going to play out, Nostradamus eyed the political landscape and came up with 3 bold predictions on what is going to happen to Donald Trump. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With cold, blunt analysis cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's time for the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
Is the dude wearing lipstick? Is this some sort of freaky support gesture for trans rights? And what's with the mustache? Look at the shape. It's like someone photoshopped a mustache above his crimson lips but didn't enlarge it enough so that it extended past the corners of his mouth.
Okay, let me tell you some predictions I got for 2024. Number 1, Donald Trump is going to the pokey. He will be prosecuted, and I think he will be successfully prosecuted. There will, in fact, be a criminal felony conviction, if not multiple criminal felony convictions.
Trump is going to the pokey? Haven't heard jail call that in 40 years.
The case I believe has the absolute most aggression connected to it is the RICO case coming out of Fulton County by way of elected District Attorney Fani Willis.
By aggression, by the way, he means the most politically driven. And of course he picked the Fani Willis case. Fani Willis. He's a friend of hers. He wets himself over the thoughts of Trump being thrown into prison by a black female buddy. Of course, Fani bungled the case, and because she couldn't keep her legs and her lips together, cost the people of Georgia their best chance of seeing Trump behind bars. All those fantasies of Trump being traded for cigarettes evaporated because Fani couldn't be bothered to take her job seriously. Why? Because corruption comes naturally to her.
Let me tell you why. Remember, the way it works in a state prosecution for a state like Georgia is find a jury, test the evidence, jury makes a decision.
Now you're talking to an expert here. He's telling you how the court process works.
Well, we have already seen that once juries are actually presented with information related to Donald Trump, they tend to vote in a way that's affirmative of the prosecution's theory. It was a grand jury in D.C. that voted to indict Donald Trump. It was a federal grand jury that voted to serve subpoenas based on evidence presented. And it will be another jury who will convict Trump of felonies.
You failed to take into account the incompetency of your friend, Fani.
Not only that, let's look at what else can happen in 2024 beyond the criminal prosecution. Donald Trump is going to be removed, disqualified from multiple states in my prediction. He will be removed from being able to be placed on the ballot. Now, why is that? Well, because of the Insurrection Act violation, which a state has the authority to make this decision. This is what happens when you do not have a uniformed federal voter or election policy. So while the presidential race is, in fact, a federal dynamic, it is not governed exclusively by the federal authority.
Are you including the Supreme Court as federal authorities there, Rashad?
You, as a state, have power, all right? So look for that to happen as well. And also look for Donald Trump to implode even more.
Frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond.
is going to be fascinating. Welcome to 2024.
Don't mark me down as a Trump supporter based on my throwing Trump's election victory back in Rashad's face. I just happen to hate Rashad far more than I hate Donald Trump.